Welcome to Trading Lounge and the European indices, and starting with the DAX here on the daily chart. As you know, we've got a couple of counts here. We've got this particular count here where we have wave 3 here, an A, B, C, D, and E wave here for wave 4. Or we can also look at this in terms of wave 1 to the upside here, A, B, C for wave 2 here, and then up for 1 and back for 2 here. So on, not that there's a big difference in them at this in this particular fashion. They're still pretty much the same. So on the bullish count we have wave 1 here, ABC for wave 2 here, then up for 1, and ABC back into this 50-60% retracement level area here, and then a move up from that point there. So on the other count here, where it's the same thing here as well, as an A and a B and a C wave here. If we drill in here on the hourly chart here, with that ABC correction here, we're looking at it as an A wave here, an A, B, and C for the B wave here, then down for 1, back for 2, down for 3, back for 4. That's where we're looking for our bounce off the 12,500, and then we'll see this move down. The thing here is that this particular move in the first instance here, this move up here is corrective. So just let me explain that here. If I can just go to a tick chart here and look at that. Let me just okay, that'll do. So that actually goes there. So this little move here counts as 1 and 2 and 3 and ABC for 4, and then up for 5 here. So then we've got this move here, which really is well, an expanded flat. That's basically what it is, because we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 here for wave 1. Then this would be we can't use this as a wave 2, because expanded flats apparently don't happen in wave 2s. They're in B waves or wave 4s, and in this case here we've got this down through here, this up here, and down through here, taking out these lows here. So it's likely to be an A wave to here, a B wave to here, as an A and a B and a C wave to here, so a B wave here, and then we're looking for 5 waves up here. So in this case here, we're looking for wave 4 to the upside. So if I can just go back to the hourly chart here, I've just got a different coloured wave 4 here. So yeah, we must be close. It's either this one here or I'll just take that and be conservative. So yeah, so we're already at the 38.2%, we're at the 50% here. This number here is really important as well, the 12,650 here. If that became the support, because that's halfway between 500 and 800, that's the balance line. So if that became the support, then we would be bullish at that point. Okay, so bear that in mind. But otherwise we're pretty much, if I just take it from this one here, it brings us into the 38.2 there, but I just need to investigate this little bit in here. Definitely a third wave here, and the beginning of this here is corrective, so it makes all of this corrective here. The AEX is on slightly different path here. We were talking about there's different ways to count all of this here, but my main interest was in this little pattern here. So on the 4-hour chart here, we were looking at from the low, don't worry about that wave 2 here, but wave 1 and 2 here, and then we're working through this as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, and this got a bit messy up here, but I ended up getting it sorted out in the end. And then we're looking for a move back to the wave 4 of 1 lesser degree, which we have now. So we've got an A wave here, an A, B, and C here, and then we've got 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here. So that should be finished here. So technically that should go up, but if that's going to go up, so will the DAX as well. So that 12,650 on the DAX is extremely important, okay? So of the support or resistance there. And of course, this low here becomes really important here as well. I'll just have a look on the hourly chart here, just to sort of drill in there a little bit. I mean, it's not the easiest thing to count 5 waves down here, but an A and a B and a C here for the B wave, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 here, a bit of a spiking in there. I'm quite sort of happy with that, and that does appear to be impulsive here, so it is completely different. So this will be an A and a B and a C wave coming back, and then up here. So then these were our targets, sort of triggers up here. So once that high gets in place there, I mean, we'd want to see this drop down though from here. Do you know what I mean? If there's a new high here, then you'll have to change this here and put it up there, because we need that fold away, that that fading away here. So we definitely need that fading away here. But what it does do on the 572, it gives us a move to the upside there. I'll just see if I can see that on the cash market there. I'll just get that why that's cooking there, and I'll just have a little look at this here. Doesn't give me 5 waves yet. It gives me 1 and 2 here, and then 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5. So it's corrective to that point there, okay? So it can pull back to this level here, to the wave 4 of 1 less degree, as an A, B, and C here, and then make another high. So it's that new high that we want, okay? Will be the trigger. And then we've also got 73 here as well, so that means that a nice tested support on that would be a catalyst to the upside. But that doesn't enable us to go long just yet here, because it's not 5 waves. We need those 5 waves, okay? So this 1 and 2, 1 and 2, see 5 here. This is a bit out here. Still, as an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave here, we're pretty close. But what we need to see now is 5 waves here. So just going back to that hourly chart here while we're here, just to fix this up a little bit. So we know we've got 1 and 2 in here. We know this is the 3rd here. So this will be a little A, B, C here for the 4th, and then the 5th wave here coming up, and then it should give us an A, B, and C. I mean, if we get it, we get it. If we don't, well then it's okay too. We'll need to look at another problem. Then we can look at that entrance there. Okay. But as it stands at the moment, that could just fail. That could fail here. Just could move up there as a 50-60% retracement level, and then start working lower from here as well. But the thing is, the fact that it's moved up so high here and it's overlapped this one here, so that's the first thing of being corrective. The only other thing here that we could count this as is wave 1 here, wave 2 here, then for a smaller degree, wave 1, and then wave 2 here, and then we go down for the 3rd wave here. So we won't know that until at least the 570 becomes the retested resistance. But I'm just going to stay where we are at the moment. So I'm just going to grab that one there and that there for that. Yeah, let's just stay with that for the time being. And of course that one can come down here. You can look to add there as well. So 580 would be the target. If 573 becomes support, then 580 is the target. Save that. And the FTSE and the MIB have also moving down strongly and taken out our stops here. So I'm not sure where we had stops in here though. Yeah, we had stops here. We had an entry here and a stop here. A little bit unfortunate, but that's the way the cookie crumbles. And at least we protected it somewhat. But just coming back to this picture here, the bigger picture here, we'd been looking at this as the A wave, and I was always figuring this was the B wave, and it was giving us lots of overlapping wave structures, but it wasn't really making any new lows as such. This was the only sort of low here, so we had this as an A wave to here, a B wave to here, and now this is going to be more complex in here as well. So I haven't started counting that with WXYs just yet, but may have to. But at the same time here is that this move down through here really makes it corrective at this stage. So we need to look at this this C wave being in play here, which will be down here. So I can just move that across a little bit and put this here, which means obviously it gives a different pattern to the AEX too, doesn't it, as such. So this move down here appears to be in 5 waves. So from wave B to wave C here, I guess it's possible to put wave C here and this wave 2 here. But the thing about doing that, just because it's 5 waves, it hasn't really made a new low here. So we just need to be a little bit mindful of that. But I just need to point that out, that's possible. And in this case here, we would need to look for wave 2 here to pull back the 50-60% mark here. So that's up into this space here. So if we gravitate to this number here, halfway between 500 and 800, I've been harping on about it, the 7650, that's what we're really looking at here as the resistance there. So you're definitely going to see resistance coming into that space there. So this move up here, yeah, so up to here, and then down 3, 4 and 5 coming into this space. That's how that would play out there. I'll just save that and move on to the 1 hour chart here. So we can see these are the errors of our ways. We don't need them anymore. We've been stopped out. But we did all the right. I felt like even though we got stopped out and we shortened, I think we did all the right things. That's all you can hope for, as long as you do the right thing when you're supposed to do it. So I'm just going to put that there and have that as 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 to here and 4 to here. See, I think we've already got the 5 waves down here. That's what I was just trying to point out here. And I'm not sure if this is the A, the B, and the C wave here, and we fail from that, or we get more to get this this wave. Sorry about that. So we know that the resistance is just above this number here, but this is the number that we'll be looking at. This will be the important one here, even though it's a little bit higher here. I'm just not quite sure how this is going. I don't know if that's the A wave in here and the B wave here, and then the C wave up here, and we fail with another little push to the upside, or this just becomes the A wave here, and then the B wave would pull back, and then the C wave would be up here. So I'm not quite sure how that's going to pan out, so I'll just have to wait and see at this stage. But of course, if we look at it another way, if we look at it from this low to this high here, and then look at our 50-60% retracement level, which is here, so we shouldn't go below that, and then delete that. That would give us here, that's 7.6, so we shouldn't really, I mean, yeah, 5 getting a bit low here, because any move down into this space here is going to bounce back up, so we're just trying to get it a little bit earlier. I'll let you think about that one, but the 7.6 as a retested resistance is a possible short, but it's still quite high from that point there. Let's just see what we get in this little space here first. Let's see what pattern that we get back to this space before we make a decision on that. And the move down is the same for the MIB as well. So I've had to re-look at this wave count, and the best fit that I can come up that incorporates all the moves is this one here. So a triangle pattern basically. So wave 3 here, an A wave here in 3 waves, an A and a B and a C here for a B wave, and then an A and a B and a C here for the C wave, an A, B and a C for the D wave here, then an A and a B and a C for the E wave here. It doesn't look like there's 5 waves in this little move coming up through here, but I've found the cash market and there is 5 waves from here to here. So the question now is that you know, we expect the DAX to finish its wave E of 4 very shortly, so I think that we need to expect that here as well. So this little move here down to the 2100 here, there's going to be obviously supports here that make this a little bit rough, but this little guide stick here I've just gotten from this low here to this high here, which is probably a bit lower. Bring that down a tad. It's a bit closer. So normally that distance there of the A wave will be added on to here. So we can gravitate over to here. So we should expect a move to come down into this space and then up from that space. That's what I'm thinking. The only other thing that can sort of come out of this really is that the move down here is just wave 1, and then we go back for wave 2. So what I was thinking here, on the cash market it counts like this in terms of 1 and 2 here, and 3 here, and 4 here, and then down for 5. So what I don't know is, I don't know if this makes the end of it all. You know, I don't know if this, if I can just borrow this here, I don't know if this makes wave 5 here and that's the end of it, or we need to look at this as wave 1 here and then go back for wave 2 here as an ABC correction. I just don't know just yet what, if we go that way or we just go straight up from here. I'll have to use the DAX for that and see where that's positioned to go, and also the US markets as well. But in the meantime, we can just expect probably a move a little bit higher, and then a move down into the 21,000, which we will see a bounce off here. And we'll just have to monitor this bounce here. We'll have to see if it's corrective or impulsive. So yeah, in the larger picture here, on this here, we need to look at all of this here being the 4th wave across here. You know, I suppose there is the case for having wave 4 here and wave 5 here, and then having copying this, put wave 1 here and wave 2 over here as a C wave coming down here, as long as it doesn't take out this low here. There is a case for that, but the problem with that is that in the Elliott manual is that expanded flats, which this one is a correction. There's 3 flat corrections, and the expanded flat or irregular flat, whichever way you want to call it, doesn't really occur in wave 1 and 2s in the Elliott Wave Bible book, but that's not quite true either, because I've seen this happen in Forex a lot. So yeah, I don't know if things change over over decades, but we just need to be mindful. But at the same time, any move above here would certainly be long on at that stage. So yeah, the question is that do we have this down for 1 and back for 2 and 3 and 4 and 5 down to here, or do we just come down to this space here like the DAX maybe do and then move up through here? That's the question that I need to answer. And yeah, it's just a little bit unfortunate. This has been a sideways choppy pattern here, and we thought we had the run to the upside, but we didn't. So we've got stopped out with a small loss there, and we need to regroup and we need to wait for the next setup now. It's just the way the cookie crumbles. But yeah, alrighty. Thanks for tuning in. Much appreciated. Cheers.